Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick apple and charcoal candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the Neutrals collection. The notes on this read sweet red apple and smoked charcoal. There's just two notes on this candle for whatever reason, but it does say online that it's supposed to smell like sipping apple cider next to a crackling campfire. So yeah, I would say this is kind of similar to the autumn candle. So if you missed out on autumn because it's just not out yet, or we don't know if it's coming out this year, this is kind of the next best thing to it. It's just a very similar juicy, crisp apple note that's found in autumn is definitely similar to the one that's in here. So yeah, it's predominantly a just very strong, straightforward apple fragrance, but it's not too different from the moldy apple we get from like heirloom apple or Honeycrisp apple or apple weather or gingham apple, like the usual apple that we get from Bath & Body Works. It's not too different from it, but it's not as moldy as those. It's a little bit more sweet and juicy, like the autumn one that I enjoy. So it's like sweet and juicy, but crisp, but not moldy. Is the apple that shows up in autumn. But once again, it's still an apple fragrance, is splitting hairs, but that apple is present first and foremost. And then you just get a very, very, very subtle hint of this like slight smoky charcoal fragrance. You can actually honestly kind of miss it if you're not like looking for it. But what happened was I was burning like cranberry woods and pumpkin pecan waffles in one room, and I had apple charcoal going in a different room. And like when you switch between the two, like your nose can actually pick up this sort of smoky, I guess, charcoal note that's in this candle, because like pumpkin pecan waffles is so sweet and cranberry woods is a lot juicier. When like my nose shifted gears into the other room, I was like, oh wow, I can actually kind of smell the charcoal by comparison or contrast to the other candles. So there is still a slight smokiness in here. It's just not super strong. Like don't expect like this massive like marshmallow fireside mix with the apple. It's not really at all like that. It just gives it like this slight texture mixed with the apple that it smells a little bit, I would say, more chalky or ashy rather than smoky. It's not quite as like smoky or meaty as like, let's say, the upcoming smoked caramel mezcal candle that's coming out is really like meaty and smoky, or even like Marshmallow Fireside has that sort of like sticky sweet smokiness to it. It's not quite that. It's a little bit more of like this powdery, I don't even want to say powdery, but I guess chalky or ashy is the best way to describe it. And it does give just an extra little bit of depth to the apple, and I like that. It kind of evokes like if you, once again, like if you walk outside during fall time or cool weather and like the fireplace is going on in the background in somebody's house, or you just get like this sort of like vague smokiness, like really far off in the distance, mixed with like apple, and it's kind of like you have like an autumn apple experience, like going outdoors and smelling the smokiness with it. But once again, very subtle and very little amounts of that supposed sort of like chalky, ashy charcoal fragrance that I'm talking about. But it is still in there nonetheless, and it just comes together to just give you a very like nice, awesome apple fragrance that just has a little bit something extra different to it. So I do appreciate that. So if you're looking for an apple fragrance that's not super moldy, I would check out Apple and Charcoal, but it's not like super groundbreaking or like some crazy out-of-the-box fragrance. It's not like Radiant Red Maple or anything like that, so just keep that in mind. As for the performance, it's doing fine. Thick rope like wicks. It does tend to like have like black like murkiness, kind of like on the top surface of the wax pool, like here and there, but it's not like changing the fragrance, and it's not like super dirty or murky, but just something to call out because it's like doesn't normally happen like that. As for the throat, it's actually quite strong and robust. I enjoy it. Like if you're just looking for a strong, awesome apple fragrance, this is totally that. I would say like a good at least 8 in the strong range for sure, so you can smell it no problem. Similar to how like autumn is super awesome on a crisp, cool fall morning, I think this would also be super excellent on a day like that too, because you just get a little bit of that smokiness that evokes like the fall smoky air that you might experience mixed with that crisp, juicy apple. I think I will definitely save this for the fall time when it gets cooler. But nonetheless, it's still a nice apple fragrance that I guess you could burn all year around. But I think just like this little nuance of that smoked charcoal would go really well during like a cool fall morning. So if you're just looking for a pretty like just a good apple fragrance with just a little bit of something extra, check this out. But once again, don't expect something super like unique or groundbreaking, but it's like a well executed apple, so to speak. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.